Name is Lakshya and welcome to May the Codes Be With You. Today we are going to discuss the June LeetCoding Challenge Day 22 problem. So let's get into the question first and identify what the requirements are. So the question is called single number 2 problem, and what it basically asks is that we need to identify the element in the array that is appearing only once. However, the remaining elements would be appearing thrice. So as you can see in example 1, there are 4 elements, and out of which 3 elements are 2, and only single element is 3. So the output is 3. In example number 2, 0 and 1 are appearing thrice, whereas 99 is appearing only once. So the output is 99. So before we get into the coding part of this particular question, we will identify what are the requirements that we need beforehand, so that we can code it much easily. As always, we are going to discuss two solutions for it. One is a brute force method, and second is called the optimized method, which will help us reduce the time in which the code computes itself. So let's get into the prerequisites of this question first. Okay, so the first thing that we need is called hash map. It basically uses key and value pairs to store data. So this is the key and this is the value that is going to be stored, and both of them are going to be integers. So these are the data types for them. So, and hash map only stores a single, basically it does not allow duplication of keys. However, the values can be the same. And there are several methods that we use in hash map in order to store data, to fetch data, etc. So we'll discuss them one by one. Dot put method, so it is basically hm.put will be used to put a specific element inside the hash map. Dot get will be used to fetch a particular data from the hash map. Dot remove will be used to remove a particular data from the hash map. Dot clear will clear the entire data entry that is there in the hash map. However, the hash map will remain intact. Dot size is basically used to tell us the size of the hash map. Key set is basically used to generate a set of keys that are there in the hash map and are being used. Dot values returns us the values that are there inside the hash map, and dot contains key helps us to identify if a particular key is present inside the hash map. So there is another thing that we're going to use today. We could have used a simpler thing, but I wanted you guys to learn something new, so that is why we're going to use iterator for this problem. So iterator is essentially a for each loop. It is optimized version of for loop. So when in depth we consider for each loop, it uses iterator in itself. So we are going to use iterator for this particular problem, and there are two methods inside the iterator that we mostly use. So they are dot has next. It helps us identify if there is an element that is existing next to the particular element we are currently at. Dot next helps us to move to the next element. So as you can see, dot has next is the check for the ending condition, while dot next is used as to increment to the next value. So let's code the question. We will code first of all the unoptimized version, that is the brute force method that we call it. So we'll use the brute force method first. I will create a array called count, and it will be the same as the size of nums, which is storing our data. Now we will check if a particular number is already there in the array before. So we will increment that particular position in the count array. and outside this J loop that we started here to check if that element already exists, we will check if count of I is equal to 1, which simply means that the element appeared only once. So we will store the index position of that particular element and return nums answer. So let's run this code and check if it works. So yeah, the code is working. Our answer is equivalent to the expected answer. Let's submit and check how much time it took. More details. So yeah, all 11 test cases passed, but it took 246 milliseconds, which is a lot of time in, while we are coding. So it takes 246 milliseconds, which is comparatively a lot. It took 39.8 MB of space. So that is fine, but this is not fine. So what we need to do is we need to identify and use some things which can optimize this particular problem. So what we're going to do is we are going to code it again. So let's reset to the default code. Now we will be using hash map and the iterator that we talked previously. Now we're checking if our nums of I is present in the inside the hash map as a key or not. If it is present, then we will fetch the value, fetch the number of times it has appeared in the inside the hash map, and we will store nums of I as the key and increment the count and store it as value. If this is not the case, then that means the particular value has appeared only once. So what we do is we put inside the hash map nums of I as the key and 1 as the value. So basically we are telling that this number appeared only once, and if it has appeared more than once, then what we do is we increment the value and store the number of times it has appeared. So we are creating a set for which we will be generating a key set. As I told you in the explanation part, it generates a set of keys that are being used inside the hash map, and now we will be needing the iterator. Set dot iterator. So what it will do is it will be using this set as the iterator. Now we will be running this loop till the time we have elements left in our set. So has next. Now what key is going to do is key is going to push to the next element, basically increment to the next value. So iterator dot next. If we get the key equal to 1, then we store our answer, our key in answer variable, and return answer. Let's run the code now. So yeah, our code got finished. The answer is same as the expected answer. Let's submit and check how much time it took. More details. So as you can see, all 11 test cases passed and it took only 4 milliseconds of time. However, memory usage is almost the same as before. I hope you liked our solution. Please share, subscribe, like and comment if you have any doubts. We will be posting more content soon. Thank you for watching our video.